Good evening, friends. Welcome to another Make It With Me Monday. We are back live tonight. Hope you all had a pleasant long weekend. Last weekend, we managed to get up to the lake, and Zach got in his first boat ride of the season, so he was very excited. That is his absolute favorite summertime activity. So looking forward to many more of those over the course of summer once it officially gets here and we're done with all of our end of school and graduation and other things that are coming up. So that'll be, he's going to very much look forward to for the rest of the summer. Okay, one thing I want to bring to your attention before we get started is this amazing deal that is going to be starting tomorrow, Tuesday, June 3rd, and run through the end of the month, June 30th. There's going to be buy one, get one 50% off on all the suites and the products therefore within. So you don't have to get the entire suite, but if you wanted to pick up parts of it, you can get another part of the suite for 50% off. It's obviously going to take the 50% off of the lower priced item. So you're going to pay, if you're looking at the bundle, you're going to pay for that. And then you could take half off the paper or the ribbon or the whatever, or another bundle from another suite. So just, it's going to take whatever is the lesser expensive item is going to be the one that's half price is what I'm trying to get at. Now, this is going to apply to all of the suites in the annual catalog as well as the ones online. So in the annual catalog, if you have that, the suite collections start on page 40 with florals in bloom, and they go through page 63. So there's several of them. So there's the florals in bloom. And I'm going to take this opportunity to stock up on some of these beautiful DSPs that are in here that I keep using crazy amounts of. So that is definitely where my focus is going to be on some of this. There's the turtles collection, and then this beautiful gallery collection. The paper in this one is stunning. You absolutely want to get this gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous 6x6 DSP pack. Absolutely stunning. And then we've got, that is still that same one. And then we've got the Kintsugi Inspirations. This is one that I've been working with a lot recently because I'm going to be presenting it on Saturday at the event. I hope I see some of you there that you've already registered and gotten your stuff and you're excited to be there with us. This is going to be the one that I'm introducing there. And lastly, the Boho Vibes. Let me flip over to this page here. So this one has really, really cute accent parts, and I love all the little rainbow archy shapes that you can make with the dies and things. So those are the suites that are in the annual catalog. Again, it applies to the ones online as well. So you can just go to the online store via my site and look up suite collections in the deal, and you'll be able to see everything that's applicable in there. So I encourage you to take advantage of that. That'll be really cool. So there we go. And let's move on to fun things for tonight. All right, so tonight we are going to do a quick and simple layout, which is what I try to do almost every time, frankly. Alrighty, so for tonight, you're going to need a piece of cardstock that's 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4.25. Mine is Misty Moonlight. Then that same color cardstock, you're going to have a piece that's 3 by 5. You need a square of designer series paper that's 3 by 3. We're going to cut that down on an angle. So that's why I had you have a ruler and your paper trimmer nearby. So I'll show you how that's going to go in just a minute. A neutral piece that is 1/2 by 2 and some sort of phrase that can fit on there. Again, you can play with the length of that. If it's not long enough, not wide enough, that can be adjusted to whatever you have handy there that you need. And then some kind of shape images, or so if you have a circle or a square, let's have you stamp on those. I, for the most part, throughout this have used either items that I have die cut or cut out of DSP, or have I have a few that are punched images, but I'm taking these two pieces from the designer series paper that goes with the Inspiring Imperfections in the Kintsugi collection, and there's a whole sheet that has all of these vase shapes already done, and you can die cut them or fussy cut them out of that whole sheet. So that was a really quick and easy way to get some imagery for my card. So my phrase is going to come from the Inspiring Imperfections. I'm going to mask off this one right here and just use the word thanks, and I'll show you how I'm going to be doing that in just a minute or so. But first, let's go ahead and put all of this aside and keep that DSP handy. I'm going to show you how we're going to cut that down. So we're going to measure, I think I want this side. Okay. So you're going to take, now whatever this part is that you have at the top, that's going to become your left edge. So if you have something that's directional, make sure that you've turned it so that your direction right now is going this way. And after we cut it, you'll rotate it and it'll go look like that. So hopefully that makes sense. Mine is, of course, is non-directional, so I didn't have to use that. I don't have to worry about that. All right, so we're going to take this and we're going to mark the 2 1/4 line. So you have a little tick mark right at that. So it's 2 1/4 inches up or 3/4 inches down, whichever makes more sense to you as you are measuring. And then you're going to bring in your paper trimmer and you're going to put that tick mark right in the groove where the cutting blade's going to go. And you're going to line up the opposite corner in that same cutting groove. And then when you slice it, you're going to take off a directional a piece that's going to be kind of directionally triangular. There we go, like that. You can use this on something. Hi, Carla. You can use that on something or just toss it, scrap at this point. And then, like I said, now we're going to have it looking like this on our project. So if you had directional DSP, you want to make sure that you kept that direction as you cut so that you now have it still oriented the right direction. Okie dokie. Then you're going to take that piece that's 3 by 5 and we are going to apply that to the bottom of that. Just line it up at the edges. And voila, there you go. Now, if your paper is over a little bit, see mine's cut a little bit over, I'm going to trim that down. Because no matter what, somehow 3 inches isn't always the same every time you cut. You might have it slid in a little more or a little less. All right, so you've got that. And then let's go ahead and do our phrase. And what I like to do when I have these pieces that I'm going to be wanting to mask, I take some Scotch tape and I cover over the part I don't want to get ink on. So right now, I don't want any of those little words down there. I just want the word thanks. I'm just making sure I got all the top edges of that. Then I'm going to go ahead and ink it up. Oh, you've got storms. Oh, dear. Okay. So, yeah, we had a beautiful day today. It was warm. We were like in the 80s today, low 80s. So hopefully, that sounds like maybe we will be getting that tomorrow, because we usually get what you've got, Carla, about a day behind or so. All right, and then the important part of that was to peel that tape back off again. Otherwise, you have a big blob. Hi, Jan. You have a big blob of ink there, and you don't want that. So then I'm just going to put my word thanks right there. And voila. So there's my thanks. Put that to the side. All right, now we are ready to assemble. And remember, if you have a dark cardstock and you want a piece of light for the inside, it's a 4 by 5 1/4 piece that you can put into there. For now, I'm going to take this. I will put everything down flat, and you can use dimensionals at your discretion throughout any of this assembly, okay? So we're going to add adhesive to the back of this, and it's going to go mostly to the right side of the front of our card. Whoop, flew right out of my hands. Did you see that? So I'm going to try to kind of keep kind of an even border around. So it's a little bit more to the right side of my card. Then I'm going to go ahead and put on my focal point pieces. Now you might have one piece, whatever you've got, this is what you brought to do. So whether you have, a circle that you have stamped images on, a die cut piece, whatever it is, those are going to go kind of over that line that we made with our DSP. And I'm just going to overlap them a tiny bit. All right, and then I'm going to take my thanks phrase, and you can decide if you want it to go off to this side or off to this side. That's kind of your choice. So I think I'm going to go this side on this one, like so. All right, so there you got it. This is a very simple, quick, very monochromatic in the way that I ended up doing it, because I have such a dark, my background of my DSP is this dark. Oh yeah, Mary, you've got the storm too. Oh boy, well, I hope you guys ride that out pretty well. And I'll look for that tomorrow, I think. All right, so there you go. That is our basic layout for tonight. Again, take whatever imagery you have here and your phrasing, and you can decide which direction you want that to be as you are laying that out. All right, let's take a look at a couple more samples. Oh, there we go. I put a piece of paper over it so I couldn't find it. All right, for this next one, oh, of course my phone is ringing because I forgot to take it out of my studio. Ignore my little background noise, guys. All right, so for this one here, I used the Spring Corners stamp set, and I just used part of it here for my thank you. And then I fussy cut some flowers from Florals in Bloom. So this is one piece of the DSP here that I have on my angle. And then I took some more of the images and I cut them out and they are on top right there. So the Florals in Bloom is one of my favorite DSPs. You guys are probably going, would you have to use this every time, Tracy? Yes, I do because I love it. Oh, goodness, Carla. You better be careful up there. All right, now, same vibe. This is the dies from the Beautiful Gallery. So it's the Pretty Florals dies. But this is the DSP that I was telling you about before, the Beautiful Gallery, that I recommend everybody pick up because it's gorgeous. So this is, again, Spring Corners. I used just a little phrase for that. I die cut this in Basic Beige, and then I also die cut it in the Mossy Meadow, and then I just cut out a few of the pieces to highlight in there. And then I put Wink of Stella on them. Hopefully you can see some of that. Along with a little bit of greenery. And again, if you'll notice here, I switched it to the left side, and it also has a little border behind it just to make that pop out a little bit more of that layer right there. All right, then I grabbed my Textured Notes collection. This is Woven Textures DSP, and there you see here I have a stamped image, so I have my circle shape that I stamped into, and instead of doing a phrase separate, I decided I wanted the phrase on the image itself. And so to mimic where that phrasing piece might be, I added this extra layer of ribbon behind there. So it's kind of giving me that vibe there. I also, in the layer that's behind, I actually raised this up a little bit, so you'll see a little bit of that brown at the bottom. And I highlighted the top of it as well, just by taking my espresso marker and drawing around the top of it. So I just added the effect of layering without actually adding bulk to the card. So that's kind of a fun little tip or trick if you want to have something pop out or stand out, and you don't want to do an extra layer behind it, kind of like this one. Go ahead and run that marker around there. All right, and then lastly here, before we get to my revamped version from the camera, I have Cutest Onesie, so I made this little baby card. This is the Country Lace DSP, and then I grabbed my eyelet embossing folder, and I added a layer there that's been embossed with that folder. The shape here is going to come from... what's the Nested Essentials. There it is, Nested Essentials. And again, this time I took my phrase and I had it going along the angle there, and I added it as a little banner because I didn't want to cover up too much of the onesie because it's super cute. And I wanted to be able to see all of it. So this is Smoky Slate for the base and a little Pretty in Pink to color in the onesie. All right, let's go back to the original here. And I only made a couple of changes for the stepped up version. I did add that layer behind. So here's the piece of Very Vanilla to go with that. And I added the embossing folder to my 3x5 piece. I'm going to bring it a little closer. This is the embossing folder that goes in that Sweet collection. And it's called Joined Together. So it's got a bunch of different type of patterns within it. And then with those lines that you see in this kintsugi art style. So it's kind of a very interesting and fun embossing folder because it has a bunch of different textures to it. So I embossed that layer. I added one of those little gems in there that's in that Sweet collection. They're floral accents. So if you see how close I can get, they look like little flowers, but they're super sparkly and very gold. They're really, really pretty. And then just to show you an option, I took that piece that I cut off and I actually added it just to the inside of my layer here. And I put the rest of the phrase on the inside as well. So that was the part that I had masked off on the front. I just added it to the inside. All right, so that is that, everybody. So again, you can play with where these little phrase items go, how many layers you would like, whether it's going to the left or to the right. So like I said, I added background layer here. This one, I just added some fake texture with my marker. This one got slid over to the left, and that one there, of course, was some fussy cutting, but I thought it was worth it. It was super pretty. All right, well, all of you up there in Minnesota, stay safe with your big storm. That sounds like it's a good one, or you know what I mean, a big one. Be careful up there. All right, I will be joining you again next week live, and then I leave on vacation the 18th of June, and I'm not sure if I will have pre-recorded content or not while I'm gone. I will let you know. Oh, they'll turn up, Carla. They have to be somewhere, right? Or when you buy them again, you'll put them away right next to the ones you already have. That's what exactly happens to me. I'll be like, I swear I looked in that drawer, and then I go to put the new ones away, and I go, oh, look, they're right there. So like I said, I'm not sure if I'll have pre-recorded content while I'm gone. Just keep an eye on my Facebook page, and I'll have some content that'll be scheduled out, but I just don't know if I'm going to get to an actual video or not, and I will just keep you posted on that. So remember to look over these suite collections that are on pages 40 to 63, and also what might be available online. And see what you like. I love the fact that it's not just that you don't have to invest in the whole collection. You can just get parts and pieces. And that's exactly what I plan to do. Stack up on the DSP and the accessories and things like that, because there's a lot of really great ones. And there's some DSPs that I haven't gotten yet. And so I'm very excited to be investing in some of those. So there you go. All right, everybody. You have a good one. Stay safe, all you Minnesota peoples. And I will see you again live next week. Bye now.